heart got locked away and we lost it all today. Tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? If I showed you my flaws, if I couldn't be strong, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? Right about now.
Hello, Room 21 Rockstar families, and welcome to our weekly VODCAST. It's so great to see all of you ready to rock and roll back from fall break the last couple of days. I hope that you guys had an incredible break. I hope that it was restful and relaxing on all of those things in between. You know, we have an amazing, amazing month of December ready to kick off here in Room 21. I cannot wait to tell you guys about it. So, a couple of quick announcements, and then I'm going to send you right out to the strategy session. You know, no major events are taking place this week at school, so we have a pretty uninterrupted week, which is awesome for everything that we're going to be able to accomplish and do within our class. Just a couple of quick housekeeping things. Number one, the PTO purchased everyone, all 5th graders, one of these shirts very generously, their Dare shirt. It's very important that your scholar has this shirt for 2 occasions throughout the school year, and then they can wear it whenever else they would like. Number one, coming up on December 15th at 9:15 a.m. in the activity room is Dare graduation. They need to wear this shirt. And also, coming up in June at Pratt Park, we have our annual Dare Day, where all the 5th graders, all 2,000 5th graders from Stafford County come together for a great day, a great celebration from their graduation from Dare, and they also need to wear that shirt then. In the past, it has been customary that scholars wear their Dare shirt on Dare days. You know, we have Dare every Tuesday with Deputy Scoggins. We only have a couple left before the program is over. Right now, your scholar is working on their Dare essay, which is kind of the final capstone event for graduation from Dare. Your scholars will be working on it all this week, and then coming up next week on Tuesday when Deputy Scoggins is in class, they will actually be reading that essay to the class, and she will be selecting one scholar from each 5th grade classroom to read their essay in front of the entire audience at Dare graduation. So quite an honor. So that's kind of what we're working on coming up in the future with Dare. With no further announcements, I'm now going to send it over to the strategy session. Hey Room 21 Rockstars, welcome to the strategy session of this week's VODCAST. I'm starting us off on the home of the Room 21 Rockstars, recordrockstars.weebly.com. I have a ton of different strategies for you guys this week. Some of them are really going to help you in class, and some of them are going to stretch your brain. So let's go straight to the VODCAST section today. So first of all, I'm going to start down at the reading section again, just because I have a few things here that I think are really, really neat. So the first thing that you're going to find is a poem. It's called At Last, and it's by Edna Becker. Okay, I found this poem online. It was written back in the 30s, in 1930s. Okay, I'm not going to give you much more context than that. Okay, what I would like you to do, first and foremost, is to read it and work on putting it into a 6-word summary, okay? Because that is a strategy the skill that we're working on this week in class. So just see if you can put it into a 6-word summary, okay? Now, put all your work down on a sheet of paper, and I'll give you 10 points, 10 house points for all the activities that I have you doing here concerning this poem, okay? So read it a couple of times. Think about the meaning of the text, okay? And then write down a 6-word summary, okay? And then the next thing that I'd like you to do, really you have a couple of options to go about here. You could illustrate what the poem is telling us, okay? You could create an illustration, kind of like the things that we do in class, guys, with the boxes and the options you get to choose, okay? Or you could rewrite the poem as if it did not rain, okay? As if it did not rain. So you have 2 options. You can illustrate the poem, or you can rewrite the poem as if it did not rain. Now, I'll read the poem one time, but if I were you, I'd read it a couple times to yourself as well. The poem is entitled At Last. It rained today, and all the little new leaves clapped their hands for joy. The dusty grass laughed bright green laughter. It rained today, and all the planted seeds split their brown jackets wide open in their eagerness to grow. The drowsy jonquils opened their eyes wide and smiled. It rained today. A robin sang a hymn of praise, and the little sparrow said, Amen. Rain fell today upon my thankful heart. Okay, so a couple of things, like I said, you can do for your 10 house points. Number one, give me a 6-word summary of the poem. Remember, be intentional. Think about every single one of those 6 words that you want to include. Then you can either illustrate what the poem is saying, or you could do both. You could rewrite the poem as if it did not rain. Okay, what would the person be saying? And finally, write down one phrase or word that you would consider to be extraordinary. Okay, and tell me what that word or phrase means. So write down one word or phrase that you would say is extraordinary, that's figurative, and tell me what you think that means. Okay, so that's the reading for the week. You can get 10 house points for all of this. I love this poem. It's going to make a lot of sense with what we're doing in class. Okay, now as for the writing fix of the week, here I have this photograph. Just kind of take a look at it. You know, when I first put it up on the site, I really had to think about it, rock stars. I had to say, oh my goodness. Okay, so based on this photograph, I would like you to write a sentence or sentences that are amazingly descriptive, that include sizzling vocabulary. Okay, so write a sentence that's descriptive, and then write a sentence that is extraordinary, that helps us all to share an experience with the photograph. And if you bring those in, that'll be 5 house points, and we'll put those right up on the bulletin board of for our Words Have Power. Okay, I just thought that was really, really neat. Sorry about that, guys. And then if we come down to the logic puzzles, okay, one other thing here, you can get yourself 5 house points for every logic puzzle you complete. Last week I put up the Thanksgiving puzzle, but today I actually have a site. So let me take you to it. So this is what you guys are going to see if you click on the link. Okay, now you can use the one that I'm about to put up, or you can actually come to the site. So you can choose your grid. Now I would choose a grid to start off with that's pretty straightforward. Don't stretch yourself too far, kind of get warmed up. And I would probably choose easy, although you can go a little higher. Okay, then you're going to hit that and then hit start this puzzle. Okay, now this is the same type of deal as last time, only this is interactive. So when you click here, you are going to see all of this come up. Now, these are not correct. I just want you to see that that's what it would look like. Now, the active clues are over here. So your clues are over here, and also the backstory, okay, for the puzzle itself. So let me read the backstory and goal, because you could complete this one without actually going to the site, or you can go to the site and you're going to be given a random one. So the backstory is Barry's Deli has a bunch of orders to fill. Help Barry match each customer's deli meat and cheese selections and determine the price for each sandwich. Remember, as with all grid-based logic puzzles, no option in any category will ever be used more than once. If you get stuck or run into problems, try the Clear Errors button to remove any mistakes that might be present on the grid, or the Hint button to see the next logical step in the puzzle. Okay, so the thing with this, guys, is you can actually click Clear Errors, and it's going to take anything away that's wrong, and they'll also give you hints. Okay, so a couple of ways to get your 5 house points. You could take a screenshot of this. Okay, if you're on a PC, you're going to just hit Print Screen, and then print that picture off. Or if you're on a Mac, you have to do Command-Shift-3, and you can get an image that way. You can post it to Google Classroom, you can email it to me, or you can just copy it down on a sheet of paper, on the tissue, on a napkin, on the back of a pizza box, anywhere like that, guys, okay? These are going to be a little more challenging, because like what you're doing here is you're finding out the customer, you're finding out the cheese they want on their sandwich, you're finding out the meat that they want on their sandwich, and finally you're finding out the price of the sandwich. So you have a lot going on here. These are going to be a little harder, but I did want to include that challenge for you in case you were interested in that. Okay, so let me get us back to RikerRockstars.weebly.com and back to the VODCAST section. One other last area I want you to look at here is our math for the week. So I do have all the strategies up from the previous weeks. As I always say, you can always look back at those, go back to those, get a house point for anything that you'd like a little more work on. But I do have our adding and subtracting decimal section this week. That's what we're going to be focused on this week. This site here is just going to be very basic, guys. This is if you're not feeling so great about adding and subtracting decimals and you just want some straight numbers to practice, okay? So you can get a house point for each of those if you write them down, bring your work in. I'm more interested in, though, the deeper thinking here. So let's think about where you might find decimal numbers at home. Okay, so I brought up one that I wanted to show you. So this is just an advertisement for Walmart from a couple years ago, okay? And these are some toys that they're selling. And it appears that they're all on rollback, but they have all of these prices here. Okay, so what I'd like you to do with this advertisement is choose 2 or 3. Okay, 2 or 3 items. I don't care how many, and tell me the price. Okay, and then tell me if I had $50 to spend. If I had $50 to spend, would I have enough? Okay, so choose 2 or 3 items, tell me the sum total, and then tell me if I had $50 to spend, would I actually have enough? You can get 10 house points if you bring that in. You can choose any 2 or 3 items on there, and then you'll be good to go. Okay, so that is your adding and subtracting decimal practice for the week. Also, guys, look at receipts that you might have at home, because that's also another great way to practice as well. And then finally, under our Scholar Link section, guys, we have some great stuff on 10 marks, but also under Calculator Nation, I found another game that kind of goes, remember, choose Guest Pass, that kind of goes with what we're learning in class right now. Yes, we're working on decimals, but we're still trying to figure out the pieces of the whole. So if you come to Drop Zone, this one is actually cool because this game this game actually has you trying to make 1. Okay, so you're trying to make a sum of 1. You aim your target wherever you want it to go. So these are my pieces. These are the computer's pieces. Okay, you can click these arrows over. Let me go over to 1/4, say, for instance. So then I know that if I add another 4th here, that's going to give me half. I click drop. I filled that up so far. And then I get some new pieces. Your goal is to make 1 out of these, and then you'll get some tokens. It's a really fun game. It's a great way to practice your fractions and figuring out how can I make 1 from that. So it's a really cool way to look at that. Okay. The hashtag, as you have probably all been waiting for the week, is hashtag Dusty. Hashtag Dusty. And you have to say it in a very mysterious manner in order to get your 5 house points for the week, Rockstars. So hashtag Dusty. It'll make more sense later this week, as always. Okay, so just hang on to your seats in terms of what that means. But the hashtag for the week is hashtag Dusty. And now I'm going to send you back over to Mr. Reichard in person. Okay, Room 21 Rockstar families, I hope that those strategies were successful. I hope that your scholar is ready to rock and roll back here tomorrow, Monday, November 30th, for an amazing week of school about to kick off. Thank you once again for all of your support for our mission here in Room 21 and of Barrett Academy and Barrett Elementary School. You are all amazing and awesome, and I cannot thank you enough. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me, because you are all the very best families in Stafford County.
If I got locked away and we lost it all today, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? If I showed you my flaws, if I couldn't be